Good morning, my name is Brother Jackson, back on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite bike, the 2020 Harley-Davidson Road King. Let's roll the intro. In the last 6 months, I've gotten to learn what Harley-Davidson motorcycle really is. I've been spending some time at Myers-Duren in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and have gotten to know some of the people there, and they were nice enough to let me check out my dream bike. So I'm going to walk you through it and tell you why I like it, and then we're going to go take a ride. So the reason I like the Road King over the Road King Special is I really like the chrome, and the Road King Special can't come in chrome. It only has blacked out. I think the chrome really just fits in nice with the kind of maroon red, especially at the front end. And I really like the nostalgic fender cap. And one of the main reasons I like this bike is that, unlike most other touring bikes, it doesn't have a big fairing. It just has a windshield, which makes it look really kind of neat and clean. And I like that it has these passenger footboards, because on like a street glide, it only has like pegs. So this would make the passenger much more comfortable. And I like the shorter bags with the short rear fender. That way it just kind of forms together and looks really good and looks really clean. And I like these nostalgic lights that you wouldn't really find on most new bikes like a street glide or a road glide. I like the beaded seat, and the seat is really comfortable. And when I grow up, I want a motorcycle that's really comfortable for me and really comfortable for a passenger if I'm riding a passenger. And I want it to perform as good as it looks. So that's why I like the Road King. We're gonna go put our helmets on and go for a ride.
Okay, so welcome everybody aboard. This is gonna be me, Mr. Nutt, and my nephew, Brother Jackson. We're taking a ride on his favorite bike, the Road King, and getting his impressions as the passenger. So, Brother Jackson, tell me your thoughts.
When I first came to Oklahoma, I didn't really think I was gonna like riding motorcycles. But then Mr. Nutt took me on a ride on his CVO. And I was amazed at how fun it was.
You thought you would be a little bit scared, huh?
Yeah.
Going 60, 70 miles per hour in the open air, it's a whole different experience, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially with like nothing that like straps you in. And I really like roller coasters, but with that, I'm strapped in, so I feel really secure. But on a motorcycle, you have no straps. All you have is really the person riding or the handlebars. And normally I have a backrest, but because Myers Duran let me take a little ride on this, I didn't really get the chance to have a backrest.
So, but if you were to buy it, a backrest would be one of the first things you'd probably put on it, wouldn't you?
Probably.
Yeah. I think, you know, when you have a two-up bike like this, it's nice to have a solo seat so that you can ride by yourself, but it's also nice to be able to take a passenger.
Yeah.
So, the first time we took a ride, we kind of took down this road, didn't we? We kind of went down Riverside.
Yeah.
And I think the first time we took a ride, you said something about, you know, don't go over 60 miles per hour, right?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah.
You thought 60 miles per hour would feel really fast, huh?
Yeah. And one time when I was like 5 or 6, I don't remember who I was with, but we went to the beach and somebody rode me on a jet ski. And I said I don't want to go over 1 mile per hour. And I have no idea how fast he went, but I was terrified.
Yeah?
And now, I'm on a motorcycle going about 70. And
Yeah, here's what we'll do. This will probably make the video, so we'll talk. We probably won't discuss how fast you've gone on a motorcycle. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But you know you've gone over 50 miles per hour.
yeah.
So you've been looking at it since, you know, I'm trying to remember when the first time was. I remember you weren't here very long. So it was probably before the first of the year. It's probably around Christmas time that we went on our first ride together.
Yeah, about that time.
And you'd never been on a motorcycle,
Nope.
and you didn't know if you'd like it or not. Matter of fact, I think at one point in time when you very first got to our house,
I didn't think I was going to like it. I didn't.
Right.
Not that I didn't know. I didn't think I was going to.
right. So now you've actually ridden quite a bit. I mean, you've ridden from here all the way to Rogers, Arkansas. You've ridden all the way to another state.
Yeah.
You've taken some 3 and 4 hour rides on the bike, or even longer.
Yeah.
So what is you fell in love with motorcycling, and then we took you to a couple of Harley Davidson dealerships, and you saw all the bikes, right?
I think so.
And you saw like all the Softails, and you saw the Street Glides and the Road Glides, but for some reason you really liked the Road King.
Yeah.
So when you first saw the Road King, what was it that you really liked about it?
I really liked that it wasn't like the other bikes where it had a fairing, or at least like the other touring bikes where it didn't have the fairing.
Right?
But I also liked that it was a bigger bike, so it's not like a Softail.
So it had a chassis that you felt was more substantial for you, right?
Yeah.
Because you kind of know you're going to be a pretty good sized guy. You're not going to be a small guy.
Yeah.
So the bike kind of looks like it's going to fit you really well in the future. But
Yeah.
you know that your aunt and I, Mrs. Nutt and I, we really like our blacked out touring bikes. We like blacked out on all our bikes. But you really like the chrome.
I like the chrome mostly just on this bike because it futures really well with the red. But on a street glide or a road glide or another touring bike, I wouldn't have the chrome.
Oh, okay. So you kind of think the chrome looks better on the Road King because of its stripped down look?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'd never heard you say that before. That's kind of cool. you put a couple of miles on this thing, and what are you thinking?
I think it's a really comfortable bike, and it rides really smooth.
So what do you like about motorcycling in general? I mean, you've ridden, like I said, we've ridden motorcycles quite a bit. So what is it that you really like about it?
What I like about motorcycles in general is I like that you're kind of just free and in control.
Nice. Why do you like Harley Davidson? Is it just because your aunt and I really like it? Or have you found your own love for it?
I like Harley Davidson because they just have a good design. Like a really nice design.
So as you think about the design of a Harley Davidson, do you like the fact that, you know, one of the things you see when you look at a Harley Davidson is you see the engine really, really clearly?
Yeah.
And the engine looks really, really clean and really good. I think it's fair to say that Mrs. Nutt and I have probably influenced you a little bit on Harley Davidson, haven't we?
Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of like, you hear us talking about Harley Davidsons a lot.
Yeah.
So that's probably influenced you a little bit. We got to be fair to the audience and let them know that part of it is the fact that you've been exposed primarily to Harley Davidsons, and you haven't really been exposed to very many other motorcycles.
Yeah, but also a Harley Davidson just looks really clean. It's not like a Honda where it's like all spiky.
What do you mean by spiky?
Like there's a lot of like on a Honda, it really curves in a lot, and like there's a lot of edges.
A lot of edges.
Yeah.
So, well, they have a lot of plastic fairings that look like they give it a lot of edges, huh?
Yeah.
So you really don't see the heart of the motorcycle.
Yeah.
So would you say that even though we've influenced you, you really have decided that you really love Harley Davidson all because of your own reasons, or are we still your primary influence?
Well, because of the fact that I wouldn't grow up and go by an Indian, I think I like Harley Davidson for my own reasons.
We are Harley Davidson people.
Yeah.
But we're not Road King people. And neither Mrs. Nutt nor I own a Road King. And we're not, you know, we're not big chrome people. So you've kind of developed your own taste on that.
Yeah.
So that's been one of the really cool things I think about Harley Davidson culture is as we've gone into dealerships, Brother Jackson has taken a certain love for motorcycles and a respect for motorcycles, and you can kind of tell, I think, just by talking to him and watching him around the bikes. And I don't know that they do this. I think actually I know that myself, when I'm in Harley dealerships, I cringe watching kids around motorcycles. And man, you know, people are always kind of impressed with the way that Brother Jackson will mount a motorcycle and be very respectful of all of its parts. Be very respectful of the paint and the bags and all of those things. So you know, the salesmen have been like very observant and very patient, and I think that says a lot about the Harley Davidson dealership culture, in that they can take this child, you know, this kid that's 10 years old, and be so patient with him and actually recognize his own skills around a motorcycle. Do you like that? Do you like that feeling when you go into a Harley Davidson dealership and how they treat you?
Yeah, where they don't just like tell you you can sit on it, and then like as soon as you actually like sit on it, they tell you, okay, that's enough.
Right. They kind of let you enjoy your motorcycles, don't they?
Yeah.
So the other day, when I went into Myers-Durham and I sent you a picture of the bike we're riding, did you think that, you know, hey, I think they'll let me ride that motorcycle?
No, I thought you just saw a Road King in the color that I like. So you were for sending me a picture of it.
Right. And then we went to the dealership and you saw Michael, the sales manager, right?
Yep.
And how did Michael treat you as far as you around the motorcycles? Did he treat you with respect?
Yes.
And did he even called you Brother Jackson, huh?
Yeah.
And he let you sit on the motorcycle?
Yes.
Did you see his face when you got on the motorcycle? Did you see how impressed he was? Did you notice that he was kind of impressed with the way you got on a motorcycle?
I wasn't.
You weren't really paying attention to him at all at that point, were you?
Kind of, yeah.
So, Myers-Dern is our local dealership, and it's where we bought our motorcycles. You know, I've been impressed with the way that they've treated our nephews as we've taken them in there, and especially Brother Jackson, because I think he has more an affinity than his brother does for the brand. And he definitely has a lot more respect for the bikes and kind of a reverence for the bikes, which is really, really cool to see. As somebody who loves motorcycling, and one of the reasons why Mrs. Nutt and I do what we do, and one of the reasons we're doing this channel, and the reasons we made the changes in the businesses we have, is because this has been a love of mine since I was a kid, and it was my uncle who introduced me to motorcycles on his Harleys. And I remember getting my first Harley as an adult, and that was a really proud time and a proud moment for me. So the idea that you know, my uncle and I, we haven't been close since I became an adult, but every time I sit on a Harley Davidson, every time I ride my bikes, I think about my uncle. And I think about those times as a kid and him introducing me and kind of taking the patience with me and allowing me to develop a love for riding, which I took into dirt bikes when I was only 10 years old and then took to the streets as soon as I got my driver's license. And I'm grateful to have that love within me. I'm grateful to have this hobby. It's been psychologically amazing. So passing that on to the next generation has been critical for us. And if you don't know, Mrs. Nutt is actually part of this video. She's riding her Fat Bob around playing B-roll camera. You won't see her loveliness on the video, but she's part of it nonetheless. All right, buddy, so we're going to turn up here on 41st, and we're going to start heading back to the dealership. Anything else you want to say about this bike and this ride, and maybe about Myers-Dern and them allowing you to do this?
So, I really like this motorcycle, and I thank Myers-Dern for letting me ride this motorcycle. And I've really had fun on this motorcycle. And I really thought it wouldn't be as smooth as it is. It's a really nice motorcycle.
It's nice. And the engine's power band, how about the power? How have you felt about the power?
Since I don't really have a backrest, I don't think you've gone as fast as you normally do.
That's
you may
probably
have,
true.
But I don't think you did.
Probably not without a backrest.
But it seems to be pretty fast.
It has the power in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You can feel it does.
So I just want to thank Myers-Dern one more time, and all the people who are watching this, and like this video, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Thanks for coming along. See you on the next one.
That's my boy right there.